Welcome. Today we're exploring the top 4 rare United States of America Monticello 5-cent coins, focusing on different conditions, mint marks, and the special details that make these nickels truly valuable for collectors. Each of these coins carries unique errors, low mintages, or condition-based premiums that can turn an ordinary-looking nickel into a surprising treasure. From circulation finds to high-grade examples, these rare Monticello nickels hold hidden value that many people overlook. Some are worth big money because of their stunning preservation, while others owe their value to unusual minting mistakes that slipped into circulation. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your collection, these coins offer exciting opportunities to find hidden gems in pocket change or coin rolls. So sit back and enjoy as we unveil these standout rarities from the Monticello nickel series. Let's get started. First up, the United States of America Monticello 5 cents coin from the year 1964. A coin that represents one of the most common yet historically meaningful nickels in American coinage. Even in very good condition, this coin carries decades of circulation history, making it an interesting piece to study. The 1964 nickel is part of the Jefferson Nickels series, which has been in continuous production since 1938. This coin features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse, giving it both historical and architectural significance. The 1964 issue holds a special place in U.S. coin history because it was produced in extremely large numbers. This was due to a nationwide coin shortage, leading the U.S. Mint to strike more nickels than ever before. That means the 1964 nickel remains one of the most widely circulated coins of the decade. This particular coin has no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time period, Philadelphia Mint coins did not carry a mint mark, which helps collectors immediately identify the source of production. When examining a 1964 nickel in very good condition, you'll notice the main details of Jefferson's portrait remain visible, though light wear from circulation softens some of the finer lines around his hair and face. This level of wear is typical of a coin that has been in everyday use for years. The color of the coin in very good condition tends to show a natural grayish-silver tone, sometimes with minor darkening along the rims or in recessed areas. These small color changes come from natural oxidation and regular handling over time. The obverse side displays Jefferson's profile facing left, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1964, surrounding the portrait. Even with very good wear, these inscriptions remain readable and clean. The reverse features the iconic Monticello building, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate. In very good condition, the basic structure of the building is clear, though some fine architectural details may appear smoothed out from circulation. Collectors look closely at the steps of Monticello when grading these coins. On higher-grade coins, the steps are crisp and fully detailed. On coins in very good condition like this one, the steps are partially worn, which is normal for circulated pieces of this age. The phrase, E pluribus unum, appears above Monticello, while below it you will find the inscriptions Monticello and 5 cents, along with United States of America. Even in very good condition, these details usually remain sharp enough to read without difficulty. One interesting aspect of 1964 nickels is that they mark the final year before the Mint temporarily removed mint marks from nickels between 1965 and 1967. This adds a small historical detail for collectors who study transitional years in U.S. coinage. The weight and thickness of the coin give it a familiar, solid feel. Being made of a cupronickel alloy, it is durable and resistant to corrosion, which helps explain how these coins can remain in good shape after decades of circulation. Holding a 1964 nickel gives you a sense of connection to the era of early 1960s America, a time of major cultural, political, and technological change. Coins like this are everyday artifacts that silently witnessed the lives of millions of Americans. You can also see minor rim wear on a very good condition coin, which often appears as soft, rounded edges. These marks tell the story of years spent in pockets, wallets, vending machines, shops, and cash registers. The surface may show small scratches or contact marks from circulation. These light marks do not reduce the appeal of the coin but instead highlight its life and movement across the country. For collectors who enjoy assembling year sets, the 1964 nickel is an essential part of any mid-century U.S. coin collection. Despite its high mintage, finding a clean, well-preserved circulated example still brings satisfaction to many hobbyists. The 1964 nickel also attracts attention because of how long it remained in circulation. Many people in America today have used these coins frequently throughout their lives, making them a nostalgic piece of common currency. In very good condition, the coin maintains a balanced look, worn enough to show its age, yet strong enough to preserve the main design elements that make this coin recognizable and iconic. This coin is also a favorite among beginners in coin collecting because it is affordable, widely available, and rich in historical value. It teaches new collectors how to evaluate wear, detail, and overall quality. Looking closer at Jefferson's hair, you may notice that the highest points, such as the locks just above his ear, show the strongest wear. These raised areas naturally wear down faster and help graders assess the coin's condition. The fields, or flat areas of the coin, may have small marks or dullness from use. Even so, a very good condition coin retains enough luster and clarity to make it visually appealing and enjoyable to study. The Monticello design has been a long-standing symbol of the Jefferson Nickels series, and even coins from the 1960s continue to display this historic building with a strong sense of pride and national identity. Collectors often appreciate the clean, traditional layout of the reverse side. Even with some wear, the structure of Monticello remains recognizable, and the symmetrical design gives the coin timeless elegance. Another reason collectors enjoy this coin is its toughness. Cupronickel coins from the 1960s age gracefully, often retaining most of their design despite decades of constant use. The coin's color in very good condition may also display light toning, giving it a slightly darker or warmer appearance. This toning is natural and can add character to the coin's overall look. Because the 1964 nickel had such a high mintage, some collectors enjoy searching for special varieties, errors, or unique marks that may make certain examples more valuable or interesting. Even though this specific coin is a common circulated piece, it still holds meaning as part of America's everyday economic history. Millions of people handled coins just like this during major events of the 1960s. Coins like this remind us how currency connects generations. A single 1964 nickel may have passed through hundreds of hands, each carrying its own story. Over time, these small coins become more than just metal. They become tiny time capsules, preserving the look and feel of the past. Your 1964 nickel carries both the art of American engraving and the history of decades of circulation. Next up, 1940s American coinage, as we explore the United States of America. Monticello 5 cents coin from the year 1940, struck without a mint mark and preserved in very fine condition. This coin is a beautiful example of early Jefferson nickel history and carries both collectible appeal and historical value. The 1940 nickel belongs to the second full year of production of the Jefferson design, which debuted in 1938. Because of that, 1940 nickels still have many of the original design sharpness and stylistic qualities that collectors appreciate today. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place mint marks on nickels during this early period. That means the absence of a mint mark on this coin is normal and helps identify where it was struck. In very fine condition, the coin still retains a strong level of detail, especially in Jefferson's hair, cheek, jawline, and the high points of the Monticello building. Even with natural circulation wear, the overall appearance remains attractive and well-defined. The color of the coin in very fine condition is typically a clean, silvery gray tone with hints of natural aging. This subtle color change highlights the age of the coin while maintaining its pleasing, original metal surface. On the obverse side, you'll see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1940," remain crisp and readable, showing only minor softening from circulation. The portrait of Jefferson shows light wear on the high points of his hair and forehead, but the majority of the design elements are still intact. His facial outline remains sharp, and the overall look is balanced and pleasing to the eye. Moving to the reverse, the Monticello building stands as the central design element. In very fine condition, the building retains strong architectural features, with windows, columns, and rooflines still clearly visible. Collectors often evaluate the steps of Monticello, and on a very fine 1940 nickel, you may notice some wear across the top steps. The lower steps often remain more defined, giving the coin a good sense of overall detail. The phrase "E pluribus unum" appears above Monticello, while Monticello and 5 cents appear below it, along with United States of America. These inscriptions are clean and sharp, showing the quality of the coin's preservation. The 1940 nickel is part of the early production years where the U.S. Mint refined the Jefferson nickel design. Coins from these years often display stronger relief and deeper detail than later decades. In very fine condition, the fields, meaning the flat parts around the main design, still look smooth and even. You may see light contact marks or small scuffs from circulation, which is normal for a coin of this age. The rim of the coin remains mostly intact, with only minor wear visible. A strong rim helps the coin maintain its shape and contributes greatly to its eye appeal. This coin is made from the standard copper-nickel alloy, which holds up well over time. Because of this durable composition, many nickels from the 1940s continue to survive in nice collectible condition. The 1940 nickel is also interesting because it predates the wartime silver nickels that started in 1942. This makes it part of the pre-war era of American coinage, which many collectors seek out. Holding a nickel from 1940 gives you a physical connection to the world just before the United States entered World War II. It's a small historical artifact that has lived through one of the most transformational periods in American history. The color of the coin may show slight darkening or toning in recessed areas, which is common and often appreciated by collectors. This toning adds character and highlights the details of the design. Jefferson's portrait maintains strong eye, nose, and mouth outlines in very fine condition, allowing viewers to appreciate the skill of the original engraver, Felix Schlag, who designed the nickel. The reverse design showcases Monticello's symmetrical structure, giving the coin a classic and elegant appearance. Even with some wear, the building remains instantly recognizable and visually impressive. Collectors admire the early 1940s nickels because they often show more dramatic design depth compared to coins from the later part of the century. This makes coins like the 1940 nickel more visually appealing. Even though the 1940 nickel is not extremely rare, finding a clean, well-preserved example in very fine condition adds collectible value and historical charm to any coin collection. The size and weight of the coin provide a familiar and solid feel. Nickels from this time period were built to last, and even after decades of circulation, the coin still holds strong structural integrity. Looking closely, you may notice fine lines or small scratches on the surface, which are typical for circulated coins. These marks do not detract from the coin's beauty but instead show its journey through time. The smoothness on certain parts of Jefferson's portrait helps indicate its grade. In very fine condition, the major features are clear while the highest points show rounded wear. This coin carried the value of 5 cents for many years, being used in shops, markets, transportation machines, and daily transactions across America. Its journey tells stories of everyday life nearly a century ago. Monticello's dome and columns remain the highlight of the reverse design. Even with light wear, their structure is easily identified and remains one of the strongest features of the coin. Collectors often enjoy comparing coins from different years to see how the design evolved. The 1940 nickel stands out because it represents an early stage of the long-running Jefferson Nickels series. The condition of the coin allows the inscriptions and details to remain clear while comfortably showing its age. This balance makes very fine coins enjoyable for both new and experienced collectors. The silver-gray color of the coin catches the light nicely, especially when the surfaces are clean and free of heavy corrosion. This coin's color is an important part of its visual appeal. When examining the 1940 nickel, you may also notice the overall evenness of wear, which is a sign that the coin spent many years in circulation but was handled with typical care. Many collectors enjoy adding early Jefferson nickels to their albums because they are affordable, meaningful, and rich in American history. The 1940 nickel makes an excellent addition to such a collection. This coin represents one of the most iconic American denominations, combining artistry, practicality, and heritage. Its design and durability have made the Jefferson nickel a favorite among U.S. coin collectors for decades. Next up, the United States of America Monticello 5 cents from the year 1987 with a D mint mark. This circulated condition Jefferson nickel may look simple at first glance, but it carries a story that many collectors love to explore. So stay with me as we break down the details, history, and collector value of this coin. In this video, we'll talk about how the 1987 D nickel was made, where it was produced, and what makes it stand out from other Jefferson nickels you may have in your pocket change. Even circulated coins like this one can teach us something about U.S. minting history and the evolution of American currency. The 1987 D Monticello 5 cents coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is known for producing billions of coins every year. The D mint mark is found on the right side of the coin, just beside Thomas Jefferson's portrait, and it tells us exactly where the coin was struck. During the 1980s, the United States Mint produced a huge number of nickels for daily use, and the 1987 D is part of that era. Although it's common in circulation today, it still holds value for collectors who enjoy studying different mint marks and variations. The obverse side of the coin features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Even in circulated condition, many of these coins show Jefferson's profile clearly, though some wear is expected. The reverse side of the coin displays the famous Monticello building, Jefferson's home in Virginia. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, this design has been used for decades and remains one of the most recognizable in U.S. coinage. Collectors always pay attention to the condition of a coin, and for the 1987 D nickel, circulated condition means there will be visible wear, loss of sharp details, and possible discoloration. Despite this, the coin still holds interest because of its place in American coin history. Coins like this help us see how money ages as it moves through millions of hands over the years. Every scratch, mark, and worn surface tells a small part of the coin's long journey through time. A circulated 1987 D Monticello nickel may not bring high value in the collector market, but it offers something more meaningful, the chance to own a piece of American history without spending much at all. Many beginner collectors love starting with coins like this. Even though the 1987 D nickel is not considered rare, certain examples with errors or unusual characteristics can attract collector attention. Error coins can sometimes be worth several dollars or even more, depending on the type of mistake made during the minting process. Some collectors specifically search for die cracks, off-center strikes, or misalignments on coins from this year. While not all coins will have such errors, it's always exciting to look closely and see if your coin has something special. The metal composition of this coin is also worth noting. Like other nickels minted after 1946, it is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This mixture gives the coin its distinct silver-gray color and durability, allowing it to survive decades of circulation. Many collectors enjoy comparing circulated coins to uncirculated grade examples to understand how wear changes the details. For the 1987 D nickel, circulated examples often show smoothing on Jefferson's hair, flattening on his cheek, and light fading of lettering. Examining the reverse side, you may notice that Monticello's steps and roof lose their sharpness over time. In well-worn coins, the lines on the building appear soft and less defined, which is completely normal for circulated pieces. While this particular date is abundant, it still forms an important part of a complete Jefferson nickel collection. Many collectors aim to gather every year and every mint mark, making the 1987 D a necessary addition to the full set. If you have this coin in your collection, it's always fun to check whether the surfaces show signs of die deterioration. During high production years, mint dies wear out faster, leading to interesting patterns and metal flow lines. The Denver Mint in 1987 was operating at high speed, striking millions of coins daily. That level of production sometimes leads to small, subtle varieties that keen-eyed collectors enjoy discovering. Circulated condition coins like this often carry small patches of discoloration caused by environmental exposure. This toning can range from light dull gray to darker shades caused by dirt, moisture, or storage conditions. Even though circulated nickels aren't usually worth more than face value, they can be valuable educational tools. By studying them, you learn how mint marks, design changes, and historical periods fit together in U.S. coinage. For new collectors, the 1987 D nickel is a perfect starting point because it's easy to find and affordable. You can practice identifying features, comparing coin grades, and understanding wear without risking damage to a valuable coin. Even seasoned collectors often keep circulated nickels like this because they help complete rolls and sets. A full roll of 1987 D nickels is sometimes collected for fun or investment in bulk metal value. Jefferson nickels have been part of American pockets for over 85 years, making them one of the longest-running coin series. The 1987 D is a modern example that continues that tradition. Whether your coin looks heavily worn or moderately circulated, it still serves as a small but meaningful artifact of American commerce. People used it to buy food, pay bills, travel, and live daily life across decades. Coins like the 1987 D nickel may not be rare, but they remind us of the importance of everyday currency in our history. Every coin, no matter how simple, carries a timeline of human activity behind it. As we wrap up this video script, remember that collecting coins isn't only about value, it's about stories, history, and the excitement of discovery. The 1987 D Monticello 5 cents coin embodies all of these qualities beautifully. Next up, The United States of America Monticello 5 cents coin from the year 1978, without a mint mark, in circulated condition. Even though it's common, it's a coin worth understanding and appreciating. The 1978 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark tells us that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark unless they were special issues, so the absence of a letter is completely normal for this year. The Jefferson nickel series has been one of the most consistent and recognizable designs in U.S. coinage. Since 1938, the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the Monticello building on the reverse have remained symbols of American heritage. In 1978, millions of these nickels were produced to meet the demand of everyday transactions. Because of high circulation, most surviving coins today show signs of wear, cleaning marks, and color changes from natural aging. The circulated condition of this coin means it has traveled through countless hands over the years. You will often notice smoothing on Jefferson's cheek, flattening on his hair, and lighter details around the lettering on the obverse. On the reverse, the Monticello building typically loses its sharper lines first. The roof, the steps, and the windows often appear softer, and the surfaces may show light scratches from years of use. One interesting aspect of circulated nickels from the 1970s is the variety of natural toning they develop. Some may appear a dull gray, while others take on darker or even brownish tones, depending on their environment and storage. Collectors sometimes underestimate common-date coins like the 1978 nickel, but they still hold value in terms of history and learning. Studying circulated examples helps collectors understand grading and coin wear progression. The metal composition of the 1978 nickel is 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same formula used for most modern nickels. This composition makes the coin durable but also prone to discoloration after years of use. The absence of a mint mark on this coin is not an error. Many new collectors mistakenly assume missing mint marks are rare, but for Philadelphia nickels in 1978, this is the standard production form. Coins like this 1978 nickel are excellent for beginner collectors who want affordable pieces to practice grading. They allow new hobbyists to learn how to identify wear patterns without worrying about damaging valuable coins. Because this coin is so commonly found in circulation, it offers a realistic look at how U.S. coins age in real-world conditions. Every mark and scratch tells the story of the decades it has spent moving through pockets, wallets, and cash registers. You may notice that the rim of the coin is slightly worn in circulated examples. This is typical for older nickels and shows how years of friction slowly smooth out the edges. Collectors often look for die cracks, off-center strikes, or other minor minting varieties on coins from this era. While not all 1978 nickels have errors, it's always exciting to check for something unique. The Philadelphia Mint in the late 1970s was producing coins at a very high volume. With so much production taking place, small variations can appear from one die to another, giving collectors plenty of details to explore. Circulated 1978 nickels also tend to have a softer luster. Uncirculated nickels shine brightly, but circulated ones often lose that shine, replaced by a more subdued satin appearance from handling. If your coin shows light scratches or contact marks, that's completely normal. These marks occur naturally from being stored with other coins, especially in bags, cash drawers, or change machines. Coins from the 1970s represent a transitional period in the United States, both economically and culturally. Holding a 1978 nickel connects you to that era of American history. Although the 1978 nickel is not rare, it is still collected in coin albums, especially by those aiming for a complete Jefferson nickel collection. Every year and every mint combination plays an important role. Some collectors enjoy filling rolls of coins from specific years. A roll of 1978 nickels can be enjoyable to examine, especially if you are searching for the best example among circulated pieces. When examining your coin, take a closer look at the lettering. In circulated condition, the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date may show signs of flattening or fading, which is completely expected. The reverse lettering, including Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, may have light wear across the tops of the letters. This wear helps determine the coin's grade. Even though this coin usually holds a value around face value, some nicer circulated examples may interest collectors who prefer clean surfaces and fewer marks. The long use of the Monticello design makes coins like this one part of a broader story in American coinage. Many collectors appreciate the timeless design created by sculptor Felix Schlag. Looking at a 1978 nickel lets us compare older and newer Jefferson nickels and observe how the design evolved, especially after the redesigns in the early 2000s. This coin also reminds us how durable U.S. currency is. Even after over 40 years, many of these nickels are still spending today in shops and markets. Holding a circulated 1978 nickel gives you a small piece of financial history. It may not be rare or expensive, but it is absolutely meaningful for understanding American coinage. As we explore today's coin, remember that every collection, whether large or small, begins with simple coins just like this one. Common coins are the foundation of every coin hobbyist's journey. This coin may be humble, but it teaches us that not every collectible needs to be rare to be interesting. Sometimes, the everyday coins tell the best stories.